Hi, meteorologist John Dawson. This is the Fox 26 YouTube tropical forecast. Want to make sure you are ready to go with what's happening in the tropics right now. And the good news is things are relatively quiet. Few tropical waves here or there, but nothing that we're expecting to really turn into anything that we're going to need to watch quite closely. So again, as mentioned, if you look out into the Caribbean, a little bit of a tropical wave activity here or there. Same thing out in the Atlantic, but overall the National Hurricane Center expecting no tropical development within the next 5 days. So that's great news. And then when we take a little bit of a closer picture of what's happening here in southeast Texas, or even really for a good portion of the Gulf of Mexico, this upper level high pressure ridge is what's keeping the weather very hot in Houston and clear of rain and really sort of funneling all of that moisture around us. This also kind of helps prevent anything that would be forming to come to southeast Texas. So that's one of those steering components that would help kind of deflect anything from us here in Texas. And at the surface, we're also sort of seeing the same thing here with our futurecast. High pressure is going to hang around for a day or so, then kind of reorganize and then come back in. But overall, that impact, influence from the upper level high pressure and the surface high pressure really will protect us here in Texas from anything forming over the next 5 days or so. So that's the good news to report for us here in Houston and really for most of the Gulf of Mexico. I did want to touch on a topic today just a little bit because a lot of people ask about that average that we are using now as far as like how many hurricanes would we expect to find. And these go on a 30-year average. So last year things were updated. Previous to last year, our normal, what we would call average, using the National Weather Service uses a 30-year average whenever we're talking about averages. Prior to last year, we were using 1981 through 2010, which was a relatively quieter section of 30 years, with 12, the average being 12 named storms, 6 of those hurricanes and 3 of those being major hurricanes. So now they use the next block of 30 years, and this was a more active time period. So when we look at the normal or the average season that would be expected, anytime we're looking at those seasonal outlooks most of the time, we would expect to see 14, 7, and then still only 3 of those being major hurricanes. So just something I wanted to kind of discuss a little bit because I get that question a lot about, well, what is actually an average year? So we're not looking back to the 1800s like we have records that actually show. We're looking at the last 30 years and kind of using that as an average. Remember, part of your hurricane plans needs to be having a way to stay connected if the power goes out. The Fox 26 weather app is going to be a great way to do that. Of course, it's great for any kind of local weather that might be happening wherever you are. It doesn't have to be just Houston, but also for tropical information. We'll be able to get to your phone. Go to the App Store, get that free download on your phone. We'll be back tomorrow with another YouTube update.